Hey, what's up, beautiful people? We are here to discuss the lunar eclipse in Capricorn at 13 degrees, 37 minutes. This is going to be happening on July 4th or 5th, depending on where you live in the world of 2020. And so let's get right into it. This lunar eclipse is very big for multiple reasons, okay? First, it is ending the third and final eclipse of this eclipse season that we've been in. We've been in this like little bubble of transformational energy, right? And with this eclipse energy, it has just been pew, 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 knocking us all over the freaking place in the world as well as within, all right? As within, so without. So a lot of the stuff we're seeing in the world right now is a reflection of what we have going on within. So there's a couple significant points that I want to bring up here. But first and foremost, I want to read the numerology for 13 degrees of Capricorn and 14 degrees of Capricorn. The reason being is because some astrologers like to round up, right? Because it's at 37 minutes. They say it's at technically 14 degrees, all right? But it's actually at 13 degrees. And, you know, with the moon, I always use a wide orb, okay, because the moon moves so fast. So it's literally 10 degrees away from Jupiter and Pluto. All right, so it's really basically we're going to be feeling it with those energies. It's because it's going to go over it, you know, just hours later. So with that being said, first off, I want to go into 13 degrees of Capricorn, okay? Here is the numerology for 13 degrees of Capricorn. A very old wrinkled brown paper sack. How exciting. Use and misuse. Taking advantage of your own beast of burden endurance to get the most out of yourself you possibly can. Extracting productive results from all other factors and fixating upon these. Eventually, you get what you put into it. And if there is a self-exploitative or a darkly abusive side to your way of operating, it generates the karma of aging and death and blight. It becomes crucial to develop, against the grain, compassion, and all the gentler feelings. Because if unchecked, the heavy-handed self-demand to make the world work better at all costs will decimate the inner self. So on one hand, we are seeing a lot of that, right? In fact, when I read this at first, I was like, oh shit, I kind of see this in myself. This is a very powerful time of like you know, passions coming up, right? Of wanting to make the world a better place, of wanting to take action and make shit happen. All right. Now, we have to be careful not to put so much into it that we beat ourselves up in the process. Okay. It says, like, you know, if we are left unchecked, if we are not compassionate with ourselves, because Capricorn and self-compassion is not really a part of our forte, right? I'm Capricorn. We tend to be harder on ourselves than anyone else could ever be, right? That's why Cancer is our opposite sign. Cancer is about compassion, all right? But we have to keep that in check, because if left unchecked, the heavy-handed self-demand to make the world work better at all costs will decimate the inner self. So this basically means that we have to free ourselves from this self-imposed responsibility, like an over-responsibility. It's like a save the world complex, right? Some people, and maybe I have a little bit of this too. I don't know. I do know. But, you know, there's a fine line between, like, you know, having this like complex, or, you know, almost like it being a disorder where you're going out there and you feel like you need to save the world, right? And be doing it in a healthy and productive way, and creating a life and a reality where you actually are helping people. But that, in order to be able to sustain that, that requires self-compassion. Okay, so we really need to make sure that we're keeping ourselves in check around this time, because this stuff that's going to come up around this lunar eclipse, there's going to be a lot of stuff about shame, about guilt, about these deeply rooted, you know, deeply embedded feelings and belief systems and patterns of energy that are finally getting to the very core and dispersing after this very, very long and difficult transit of the nodes in Cancer and Capricorn. Okay, now, because it's right on the cusp, let's look at Capricorn 14 degrees, right? Beads carved from human bone. The body carries memories of every world we have ever been through. These memory strings or beads bind us to the earth. We feel pinned to the spot, responsible for everything that happens around us, somehow the one in charge. For we are carrying the continuous memory and legacy of the ancient mystery streams of the forgotten modes of knowledge. We bear the treasure intact. It makes everything count. It means that we cannot get away from ourselves or our fate for a moment. We are compelled to fulfill our vows and to bring into this world the towering awareness and strange resonance of the giants, of the ancestors, of the great ones, of the inner ways, never lost, impossible to forget. So I feel that this rings true as well on another level. This shit is so deep, guys, because just 10 degrees away, we have Jupiter and Pluto is dismantling everything, okay? And between all these conjunctions, all these planets speaking together, this is getting to the bare bones roots of our ancestral trauma, of our ancestral belief systems that have been limiting, okay? And you know, the powers that be, they know all this. They realize that people are waking up. That's why they have to create this confusion. That's why they have to create these agendas, okay, to keep us from staying focused on our heart. This is why it is so important to stay focused on the heart and on following our path. Because if you don't know what your life purpose is right now, you're going fucking cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, okay? This is about identifying and finding your path and being completely, brutally honest with yourself about what you love, what you desire, what you fear, what you want, what you believe that you can have, what you believe you can't have. All these things, like, just give it to me straight, Doc. Just give it to me straight. I need to know. I got to see it. It's time to call it out. And that's what the universe is doing, okay? It's calling us all out on our shit so that we can really be honest and create the reality that we all want, okay? Now, what I also find significant here, I'm going to go ahead and bring up the screen, the chart. What I also find significant here is that we have Uranus here. At the exact moment of this lunar eclipse, we have Uranus at 10 degrees in 0 minutes, okay, of Taurus. So let's go to Taurus, 10 degrees, 0 minutes. All right. Now let's look at what the numerology for that placement says. A man exhaling clouds of iridescent smoke, having something to say, a lot to show for your efforts, bringing through archetypal realizations and giving yourself over to all that is involved. The perfect instrument for something new to be revealed. Selfless service, obedient to the gods, played through by visions, pictures, images, impressions that gather to form breathtaking wholes. Someone who has worked upon this faculty for a long time, and now it is quintessentially ripe. You feel the tremendous surging moment to say it, name it, evoke the spirit, what needs to be seen. When dazzling gifts are in the works, the destiny is already written in the book of life. It is simply a matter of getting out of the way, paying attention, becoming exceedingly disciplined, and then gathering a fresh synthesis for the many to recognize themselves reflected with transparent, evocative accuracy, a perfect portraiture direct from nature's workshop, cooked up for the occasion. Why am I reading all this stuff? Okay. All these aspects are significant, and all these numbers are a great way to identify the energies that are shifting deep down in all of us. With Uranus going in now to the second decan, okay, this is a whole new layer or level of learned lessons in Taurus with Uranus. So the next few years, we're going to be going through a lot of learning lessons between Saturn and Uranus. Now, what does Saturn represent? Because now Saturn's back in Capricorn, right? It's home sign. It's powerful. It's at 29 degrees. Saturn is control. Saturn is big governments, big corporations. Saturn represents this totalitarianism, okay? These big wigs that are trying to create these control measures to have everybody fall in line, all right? So for the next 6 months, we're gonna be seeing more things coming together with that kind of stuff, with all these big corporations, all these powerful people putting things into alignment, okay? Now with that, Jupiter and Pluto, there is going to be things that are unraveling and breaking up, being shaken up in all the systems and governments and industries. I mean, look, everything is changing, okay? This lunar eclipse is sort of like the last nail in the coffin, so to speak, for putting the past in the past. This is where we are ending a really 2.5-year cycle. I'm sorry, an 18-month cycle of the Cancer Capricorn axis. Okay, this is closing out those karmic lessons. Now we are really we have to let go of all those lessons. So we really have to learn the rest of it. Okay, and that has going all the way to the core. It's got to come up and come out. So this is where we are literally going all the way down to the minerals in our bones, the osteocytes, literally, and looking down the DNA to see what it's trying to teach us. And this is, of course, energetically, figuratively, literally, metaphorically speaking, in every way, on every level. Okay, we can see all these things that are turning around and are making things happen. And, you know, in the collective unconscious, this is shaking things up on a whole new level. Like we're going to the next level of the video game, so to speak. All right. And now we have Mars, of course, also now in Aries, and it is only 5 degrees away. Yeah, it's a 5-degree orb from Chiron. So we're gonna, you know, those energies are together. You know, speaking. This is all about identifying our spiritual gift, because our spiritual gift, our chironic gift, you know, empaths, intuitives, and whatnot, our gift comes from our Chiron place, from our deepest wound, right? So it's all the wounded healers, it's all the light workers, it's all the star seeds, it's all the indigos, the rainbow children, the crystal children, whatever you want to call yourselves. We all are in this place, right, where our gifts are being received or exposed to us, and now it's our responsibility to step up and take those gifts out into the world. And with Uranus stepping up into 10 degrees, while Saturn is coming back into its home sign, it's saying, okay, all these measures are coming in. It's time to establish a new foundation. All while Jupiter and Pluto are at 23 degrees, where we had the eclipse last December, closing out that shit and activating this new level within us all. So we are going to have another massive awakening. As if we haven't had enough, it's going to keep going, okay? And this one is going to be a little bit different, because now we have Mars in its home sign, and Mars in its home sign is very significant because it's going to go retrograde. So it's going to stay in its home sign for the rest of the year. And with Mars, the divine masculine, the passion, the let's go out there and get it, okay? Especially right now, hanging out around Chiron, is taking that wounded healer and saying, let's extract the gift from this vulnerability and bring it out there into the world. That's what the world wants to see, and that's what people want to experience. So this is going to play a major role in this lunar eclipse. There's going to be a lot of shadow work being done this month, okay? Let's go back to the chart real quick. So with Uranus now at 10 degrees, okay? Uranus in Taurus also represents like the Mother Earth, right? And like literally like earthquakes, natural disasters, kind of, because Uranus is this unpredictable, what the hell's going on kind of energy. Okay, all kinds of weird weather anomalies may be happening at or around this time. We have Black Moon Lilith that's only 6 degrees away from that too. So this could be like unpredictable, you know, unpredictable ideas or things coming up that are very temptational, or, you know, or activate this temptation aspect of us all. All right, temptations are very strong here, but with Mars conjunct Chiron here, this is saying like anything that's coming at us is going to activate or trigger this deep wound that is our gift or our blessing. Okay, and with Jupiter and Pluto here at 23 degrees of Capricorn, those guys are basically saying like, look, you are going to manifest whatever it is that you want right now. So if you believe that you deserve, you know, like Aries, Mars and Chiron in Aries is all about the ego, how we bring ourselves out into the world, what we want the world to see from us. Okay. So this is manifestation, a deep, intense, immediate manifestation. So if you have been feeling and facing your chironic energies, all right, if you've been doing the internal work is everything this year. Doing the internal work, your gifts are going to become massively more powerful. You are going to be put out in an uncomfortable place, because now the universe is like, time to step up. Okay, you need to take responsibility, and you're gonna have to learn on the fly. The world needs us. The world needs your gift. The world needs to see the divine masculine vulnerability, okay, to really help to mitigate the situations that are going on in this world. Okay, the world needs true, real men, loving men, like father men. You know, like there are too many fatherless homes out there. It's incredibly unfortunate. So this is getting us to look at, you know, our divine masculine in us all. We all have a fatherly, it's almost like the fatherly aspect is the authoritative aspect in us all. So, you know, do you hate authority? I know when I was younger, I couldn't fucking stand authority, right? Now, as I become an authority figure, I understand it. Authority, good, solid authority equals healthy emotional boundaries. And this is really where it all interconnects. It's about exposing these deeper wounds and these deeper issues within us all to be able to acknowledge them and to stand in our own power and not give our power away, being in these healthy boundaries. And the healthier and stronger your emotional boundaries are, the more that you're able to help other people. And this lunar eclipse here on July 4th and 5th is asking us to let go of the things that no longer serve us and to step into this unknown place. I know you can feel it. There's energy of like, man, like I'm going into this unknown, this new place. It feels weird. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what I'm feeling, but I just somehow know I gotta go. I just somehow know I'm being drawn to this direction. If you're feeling drawn to a direction, go in that direction and make it happen. You're gonna learn as you go. Nobody ever knows the way. Nobody ever has it all mapped out, right? Like the greatest things that happen when you just jump in and trust your gut. And right now, the universe is trying to guide you in a way, and if you're allowing your fear to interrupt that, you're gonna fuck it up. So face your fear. Literally everything that's going on right now, all the chaos in the world is because people are terrified. And the fear comes from ignorance. When you don't know your own heart at the very core, of course, like if you don't understand virology and if you don't understand, you know, biology, if you don't understand how the body works, the immune system, I get that, right? Like that's all part of the not knowing. But if you trust your heart, you have an intuitive feeling like, this feels right. That, no, it doesn't feel right. And you trust that feeling. That is your divine source energy, God, your God energy within you telling you, yes, no, no, yes, 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 no, no, no. Okay. And I shit you not, when you learn to trust that feeling within you, then you don't need to know all the details and all the analytics and all this left brain stuff about, you know, peer-reviewed journals. All that, half of that shit is doctored anyways, okay? The real true knowledge right now is in the heart. And this energy is saying, in order to fully open up your heart, you have to embrace your vulnerability, Chiron. And you have to feel all this stuff that needs to go. That's Pluto and Jupiter, right? It's going to go all the way in. And then Saturn, discipline. Okay, we need to discipline our lives in order to be able to face this, feel it, push through it, keep going one step at a time. Okay? And of course we have, you know, Mercury still retrograde here. So a lot of stuff from the past, anything that, you know, we maybe made mistakes in the past or going over like business ideas or relationships or issues or things that we've been through that we're now like, when you allow yourself to be vulnerable, right? And you allow these wounds to come out and you allow yourself to step into this, these mistakes that we made in the past we start to see why we did and chose to do what we did at that time. Then we understand how to do it better. That's what Mercury retrograde is all about. And Mercury retrograde is in Cancer. It just passed over the sun. So this is all about increasing and deepening the connection to our intuition. Our cognitive understanding of our emotions is essentially what our intuition is, right? The better and more that we know that, the more efficiently we can communicate with our hearts. So all these aspects, everything is designed to bring us closer to who we are authentically. And it's vulnerable and it's uncomfortable and it's painful. But you know what? Again, we are filtration. This flesh suit is a filtration processing center. And we're energetically processing a whole lot of nasty shit right now. So don't get attached to that nasty dark vibration that wants to hang around in your space because that shit don't belong there. Get rid of it. Go. Okay? What you do that is you focus on connecting to yourself, to the people that you relate to, the people that make you feel better about yourself, the people that make you feel like you can do it, like you can create your dream, that you can create your vision, that you can make shit happen. All right, that is the point of this energy. But you have to face your shit. You have to man up. You have to woman up. You have to step up. So it's time to step up. That's what Capricorn's saying. Hey, it's time to step up in your shit and take responsibility. Whereas the darkness is saying, no, stay a victim. We'll take care of you. We're going to make sure you're all right. We're going to poison you and keep you sick and give you just enough to be okay. And then we're just going to make sure that you do everything that we say, but you're going to be fine. Fuck that. This is about taking responsibility. This is about rising up and telling the totalitarian motherfuckers that they can go fuck themselves. Because we deserve more. We deserve better. And in order to do that, we have to stand in our power, rise up to the top, and make that shit happen and believe in ourselves coming from the heart. Okay? This is real, guys. This shit is going to get intense this month, especially if you are a cardinal sign. Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. Look at your sun, moon, and rising sign. If you, especially like I have my sun and my rising in Capricorn, Aries, so I'm a double cardinal. Yeah, bring it on. All right. We all about this life, and I know if you're watching this, you are too. So thank you for doing the work. I'm so grateful for you being here. And if you resonate with this message and you want other people to wake up and get going and do that work and make it happen and join the high vibe tribe team, man. Send them this video. Show them what's up. Let them know it's time to stand up. It's time to let go. It's time to be vulnerable. It's time to be powerful. It's time to love the self. And that self-love can come in many forms and fashions that, like, you know, like a lot of people have skewed understandings or ideologies of what love really is. A lot of people think attachment is love, right?
Love is, you know, when you love something, you let it go and you allow it to experience its own experiences, its own things in life, right? When you love something, you intentionally always want the best for them, no matter what, no matter how they are to you. Not many people really do that. Yeah, I mean, I think you have to go to a pretty dark place to really be able to actually do that. So really think about that. Do you really love yourself unconditionally? Or do you beat the shit out of yourself all the time? Man, I suck. Man, I'm too slow. I'm too fat. I'm too skinny. I'm too big. I'm too tall. I get, you know, my dick's too small. My dick's too big. My pussy's too tight. My pussy's too big. Whatever. Who gives a shit? All right. The perfection comes in the imperfection. There is someone out there and there's something out there that is perfect for that imperfection. Another imperfection is perfect, right? But we have to be vibrating in our harmonious, balanced space in order to be able to attract that. So this is giving us the opportunity to step in to that deepest core balanced space of ourselves. Okay. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing. If you would like a reading from me, please, if you'd like a reading from me, or if you'd like to join my opportunity community, or if you would like to download my free ebook, which is amazing, please go to my website, spiritualbodybuilder.com. I appreciate all you guys so very much. Please share this message, and I will see you guys on the next report. Peace out, y'all. Have a great day. Namaste.